No, it's considered kind of rude to eat on camera, and I just wanted to let you know that as a PSA. Just saying. I really got to mention too that I love how Ivory's sitting. She's really like ready for the show. What am I doing? Um, I've been busy in the rotation of things. I realize kind of like my RPG show load right now is kind of weird. There's a new one in August that I know I'm going to want to catch. So I know I need to start prioritizing Critical Role so that I can get caught up. Because if it's still ongoing, that's going to be problematic. But if I remember correctly, it's at least the videos have stopped. I don't know if the campaign's still going or not. So Here's of Awesome, Twilight Chorus, Critical Role, Titan's Grave, and there's a new one coming. So I'm hoping I can get rid of Critical Role by the time the new one shows up. That way I'm only floating 4. Because 3 hours a pop is a little hard to keep up with. So Twilight Chorus and Critical Role are both kind of hard to watch. Heroes of Awesome, they get down to like an hour and a half. It's like watching a movie. I'm really down for that. Titan's Grave, they kept at a tight 40, which is basically an hour-long television show, plus commercials. The show plus commercials equals an hour-long TV show. You know math. Yeah, I'm not involved in any of that. I would totally do my own if we could do Warhammer, 40K, or Iron Kingdoms. Like I would be up for that, but I'm trying to get moved, and so hopefully that project it can be upcoming. All the different stuff I'm trying to balance and trying to go through and quality test the board game engine that I'm making is proving to be problematic because of the issues I had getting 5 and 6 caught up, because I'm currently working on version 7, but because there were errors and some data loss with 5 and 6, it took me a little bit to get 5 working correctly. And then 6 is still showing bugs. So I've got to get that sorted out. So I'm doing 2 versions in parallel, which is horrible. You never want to do that. But let's get to some games. I played some stuff on Twitch this weekend, which I was like, I got it. I'll probably do a little bit more tonight because I'm in the mood now. During the week, my buddy finally got on board with playing Blood Bowl. So we did his first game of Blood Bowl online. He started with Lizardmen, and he had me play High Elves, which is not one of my stronger teams, mostly because they're just too damn expensive. I do pretty well with elves all around. Like, my favorite throwing team is the straight elf team. The Skaven team is my all-time favorite team, and they're a running team. I don't play Smash very well, but if the other person doesn't know what they're doing, and then dwarves are dwarves, so there's that. So on the second game, Kevin brought back his Lizardmen team, and there was some confusion about like who he had available, because I think one of his Saurus was out, but we thought his Krox-Gore was out, but he just couldn't see it for some reason. It showed up late, but he had me play dwarves, which I'm telling you I'm not good with, but I actually managed to outball play him a couple times. I think is either 3-0 or 2-0. I can't remember if I made that third touchdown or not. No, I'm sorry, it was 3-1 or 2-0. It was like a 2-point spread. But I think he needs a team that has dedicated roles so that he can learn, because Skaven are actually really versatile overall, but they're very specialized in how they handle. You have skinks that you can use to run the ball if you're lucky, and then you've got Saurus and Krox-Gore to just beat the snot out of people. So they probably lean more. I consider them a running team, but they lean more towards smashing than Skaven do. Though if you do it right, you can do some smash with Skaven as well. So I honestly suggested for him to play humans because I think they're a super well-rounded team. You can get a big guy if you want, but other than that, you're doing some throwing and you have characters that have special skills. I really think that's the way to go. If you have not played before, to start with like either humans. I should have taken control of that a little bit. I was like, oh, do your thing, but so I beat the next couple games. It took about an hour. The first game, I don't know how we got up to an hour and 20 minutes on the second one, but I don't know. I think if I can get him to keep at it, then we'll definitely even out pretty quick. Okay, so I went back to doing some of my blind plays. Turns out Origin actually has another on the house that I need to check out. But I've got so many blind plays, I just started going down my list. I need to find that. You know what? I'll just go ahead and do that real quick. Because I know I installed it, or I told it to install. But I have no idea where the the icon went. I also found minicam so we can both do face cam, me and my opponent, when we're doing group stuff now. So we'll get Origin up and I'll get that sorted too. But my first blind play for yesterday was Chantilly's, and I think it's supposed to be Shantae Elise because it's a tale of two sisters, Shantae and Elise. And for whatever reason, Elise gets cursed into being a fairy and they get transported to some weird world. Where you run around and fight stuff, and you have these very poorly cast magic at things. And it's like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's like that. It plays like that, but like that's where the similarities kind of end. What is your deal, Kitty? I'm not sure like how else to phrase it. It's the only thing that comes to mind. Zuma's Revenge. Zuma's Revenge was is the current on the house game. Apparently, it did not install. The animation, it's real. I mean, it's pretty looking. The mechanically, it's very simple, but like I don't know. They either put a lot of thought into it, or they didn't put hardly any, and it just happened to balance really well. And they went, "Oh, it's broke. It's not broke. Don't fix it." But mechanically, it's very interesting. And apparently, to progress the story, you have to go through from start to finish. You know what? I take that back. I never actually went back to story mode after I died against the boss. I went back in because I was trying to handle it like a normal thing. And I'm just not very good. There's a lot of reaction-based dodging, like 3 or 4 hits and it kills you. And then I managed to go boost my HP, which would have been a big help. And then I upped my defense, and I just haven't gone back. I'm gonna go back. I put it on my games to go back to, even though I was a little frustrated with it at first. But I think ultimately it's a good game. It's not one that's particularly for me, but I definitely want to try it out again. I liked it. And then Evoland, and if Evoland hadn't crashed on me, I probably would have kept playing till the end. I think I am going to go back and finish that, and it should only take one more run to do it, because I got through. But the problem is that I've got to go and I've got to catch back up to where the video failed because my computer had a heart attack. I don't know what was happening. But it didn't like something that was going on and crashed. So when I get that caught back up, I'm going to go back and do that. I'm just trying to get through a lot of these blind plays, and then when I get through a lot of that, then I'll go back and I'll finish up some of these games. I did a blind play Gianna Sisters. Not only did that game wreak havoc with my computer, I don't know what it was doing. It was flashing things back and forth. I was just like, "Are you done?" But I get in it, and it's a very unimpressive platformer. You get to swap back and forth between worlds, which is a neat idea, but they did so much work to make everything happen, and there's a foreground, midground, and background all doing full function animation. And so I'll say this till the day's dead and gone. It is a beautiful game. If you like art and you like music and you like that feel while you do your platformers, this is the game for you. I'm not going to say it's a bad game. I'm just saying it's not a game for me. It's not a game that I intend to pick back up. It's just not a lot of fun for me. A lot of platformers are just devoid of deeper mechanics, and I strive on that. Another game that I'm going to not play again probably is Particula. It's a tower defense game. There's multiple difficulty settings on the one level that exists, and there are only 9 different towers. There are 3 variations, like elements of towers, and then you've got levels 1, 2, and 3 towers. And the level 3 towers are like these huge area effect things, where the smaller towers target more. Mechanically super interesting. It is. I didn't know what it was when I started up, so it took me a while to figure out that it's a tower defense game, and how to play it. And very non-intuitive, restrictive menu. You can't just hit escape or whatever. You've got to hit 5. So you essentially have to have your fingers glued to the 1 through 5 keys, as well as the WASD keys to move around the map, and then click the appropriate things with the mouse. I don't like being tied down to things like that. It's aggravating, but I got through the level 2 difficulty without much problem. I think I took some hits on the very, very last wave, but it just kept me from having a perfect. But I kind of checked out too. I was just trying to see how much damage I could load on that first tower to see what it was. I think I got over 1,500 damage, because it just never caps out. But the speed does cap out, which was what I found interesting. I had the next game I'm going to talk about forever and a day. Don't know where it came from. Don't know why I have it. I don't know if it was a Humble Bundle or if it came with Steam. But Luftrausers. Phenomenal game. I hate bullet hells most of the time. It takes a very particular bullet hell to get my attention in a positive light. And I hate dogfighting. Hate dogfighting with a passion. The only way dogfighting is worse than side-scrolling is if you're first-person dogfighting. It's super annoying. But this was just so much fun. I didn't care when I died. There's actually ways that you die on purpose to actually meet certain goals. And I think that's really what made it gold, is that it has these achievements, and the achievements are dependent upon what body type you have equipped, because you can change the hull, you can change the weapon, and you can change the engine. And each of those combinations or permutations, whatever you want to call it, make a difference for what your objectives are. So if you play the same ones enough, you'll earn enough points and level up, and you'll get new level objectives, and you'll get unlock new equipment. But the what was I going to say? But you'll notice that it all eventually goes to, like, this mission is locked until you kill a blimp. And I never got to kill a blimp. I tried really hard. I played for about an hour and 15. But the problem is that I can't use the controller, and my fingers started cramp. I ended up with a claw. So you can only play it for so long before you have physical ramifications. It's not it's not the best in that sense, but the fact that I played it until that happened, is actually pretty impressive to me. And then I did a blind play. Last game I managed to play last night was I I did a blind play of Out There Somewhere, and I actually managed to complete the game. It's a puzzle platformer combined with a side-scrolling Gradius-style shooter, which I actually really hated the space thing. I was like, I just played a better version of this. I don't want to. And then, spoilers, you lose and crash on a planet, and that's where the actual game is, all the way till the end battle. So it's a cute game, but it's a little indie thing. It really was annoying to have a portal gun, because that's the whole point, that I couldn't aim vertically. But if you can get past that frustration and just look at the puzzles, they're all completely doable. You just have to get your mind wrapped around how you solve the puzzles. Yeah, Napoleon Unknown. I don't care if you're going to watch my thing. I really wish I almost wish it didn't promote on Google Plus. Secondly, I don't know who the fuck or how these Hangouts get put on Google Plus, and then who goes through the bother to click no. If you're going to bother to go ahead and click no on Hangouts and podcasts you're not going to watch, I don't want you to fucking watch it. Go to hell. And obviously they're sending them to the wrong people if I'm getting things that are saying no too. So I'm actually kind of in the mood to play Love Trousers. Got so many things on the list though. Did Zuma's Revenge come in? I'm gonna have to prioritize that one. Origin. It's worth prioritizing Origin games. Oh, am I almost down to one Fenceworth? Oh, I only have like 20 of them. Yay! I'll be so happy when I don't have any games that I know nothing about on my computer. So after I do the blind plays, it'll just be a matter of question whether or not I'm doing the first plays after that, or oh, you're in the wrong section. If I'm doing the first plays after that, or what? Oh, hammer launch there. And that's probably what I'll end up doing. But 20 games, and then another, let's see, 13 Baker's Dozen for first plays. And oh God, I'm going to move Risk of Rain to the front of that list. No, don't start Wing Commander. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to go before my computer has a conniption because it's trying to do too many things. Hopefully I get to these. I've given myself quite a bit to do as of late, which may or may not be a problem, but until next time, I need my stop button. That's loading, Commander. Until next time, I'm Kamurai, and you'll see me